Alright, so after our last offbeat stay, we landed in Jaipur with a simple plan: eat and then head to Ranthambore for our safari fix. We'd even scheduled a whole day just to laze around, but then we made a fatal travel mistake. We did a quick search for local activities, and just like that, our lazy day was hijacked by the crazy idea of a hot air balloon ride at sunrise. A last minute booking was made the night before, and true to form, it was all very well organized with pickup and drop off included. The flight was set for an open field about 45 minutes from the city, bright and early. When we got there, we quickly learned that getting a hot air balloon ready for a flight isn't just a matter of flicking a switch, it's a meticulous operation. They had a whole army of people on the ground preparing this giant, colorful beast stage by stage. First, they lay out the massive balloon, which looks like a giant, very sad, deflated parachute. Then, they start a huge fan to pump it with air before hitting it with these massive gas burners. And those burners, man, they make a booming sound that you feel right in your chest. The most intense part is watching them wrestle the balloon upright. It's like trying to get a sleepy giant to stand up straight. A whole crew is holding it down with ropes. A guy is blasting the burner just right. And it's this surprisingly coordinated chaos. We managed to snag a hurried pose in front of a nearby balloon just before ours was ready, because there is a very quick routine they follow to get everyone on board. This is where all that pre-flight admin comes into play. Remember having to provide your weight when you registered? Well, this is the moment of truth. They have a whole chart and group you strategically in the basket to make sure the weight is perfectly distributed. I'm still convinced there's a secret leaderboard somewhere for who enjoyed the most Rajasthani food. Once your balloon is ready, they call out your group and you have to quickly and gracefully, or in our case, not so gracefully, hop into your allotted section. Then our turn came. We clambered in, got our little space, and then lift off. And boy, oh boy, the takeoff is surreal. It's nothing like a plane. There are no rumbling engines, no vibrations, no G-force pinning you to your seat. Apart from the occasional deep, booming roar from the burner firing up right above your head. The flight is so incredibly smooth that you don't feel like you're rising at all. It feels like the ground is simply deciding to get smaller beneath you. You feel like you're levitating. Just this silent, elegant, impossible ascent. Our pilot was this funny French national, a guy who has apparently flown over the Swiss Alps and now had the distinct pleasure of flying over us. And here's a fun fact you learn pretty quickly. There's no steering wheel. The pilot can only control the altitude, up or down. To actually steer, he has to find different wind currents at different heights that are going in the direction he wants. You're literally at the mercy of the breeze. It explains that feeling of just drifting like a feather being carried on a whisper. No sudden jerks, no turbulence, just floating. As we were taking off, our pilot, with his classic quirky French humor, leaned in with a very deadpan look and said, "Okay everyone, wave a big, final goodbye to our friends on the ground. If you have any last minute messages for your loved ones, now would be the perfect time to type them. The network is still good at this altitude." We all let out that awkward laugh you do when you're not entirely sure if someone is joking. As we floated higher, the sun began to peek over the horizon, cutting through a mild morning fog that lay like a soft blanket over the landscape. Whole world below was bathed in this gentle golden light. The perspective is just incredible. Cars on the highway look like tiny little toys, and farm fields become these perfect geometric patches. You feel so completely detached from the world, yet you start to pick up on the little sounds from the ground, a distant dog barking, the faint chime of a temple bell. You see kids on their terraces pointing up at the sky and waving eagerly at this strange giant bulb floating past their homes. It's like you're a silent observer floating above a world that's just starting its day. The flight continued over small hills. Once in a while, the pilot would fire up the burner and we'd climb really high, and then he'd just let the balloon go quiet, carried along by the wind. It was in one of those moments of pure, surreal silence that he broke the quiet by saying, "You are all enjoying the view. Yes, it is easy. But for me, the man controlling this giant plane, I'm just hoping my high school maths does not fail me now." Then came the landing, which we were told is the most trickiest part of hot air ballooning, trying to find the right driftwood, a flat location. The ground crew timing to come and hold it in position as soon as it hits the ground. The landing was eventful. Our funny pilot made it very comfortable for us by making jokes like, "Let us make our ground crew run around a bit." 3 unsuccessful attempts were made to land, flying through a village, trying to find a flat land which is not cultivated. That was also a challenge for the landing, but our funny pilot kept it lively. "I think I forgot my parachute," he quipped. "Otherwise, I would have jumped out and saved my life. You guys, you will float towards eternity." The landing wasn't that bumpy. Safely landed with good memories. You know you've ticked off a major bucket list item when your feet are back on solid ground, but your head is still somewhere up in the clouds. What an incredible morning!